It is Sunday, 11/3/2024, which means we are 2 days away, if math works right, you don't count the day of, till our election for 2024, our national election, which has the president involved, plus any national officers you have in your state and all the other big things that are coming through, minus any major runoffs or things that turn into tiebreakers or extended election bills in your state. Now, based on how things go on, there's a chance for runoffs. Basically, you have ranked choice voting, or you have more than 3 or 4 different people in running for an office, but you have a case where they don't get 50% plus one, in most cases says. Then they have a runoff election. For Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, runoffs is not going to exist. Well, actually, that's not true. There is a chance that they could tie, and we'd really be in for a kerfuffle in that case. But as the case goes right now, in 2 days, we'll start the counting of the ballots, even though Donald Trump will end that counting on Tuesday and just say, I won. But in 2 days, we'll start counting the ballots. That will take probably till Friday, Saturday, to get a good count on who gets a win and get the official talk off what's going on. Now, on Tuesday, you'll get the generic, CNN, MSNBC, Fox calls this state for whomever, because they do that and they'll keep doing that. And things that are basically a given will be done. Arkansas, it's a done. It's a red. Alabama, Mississippi, it's a red. Georgia, not quite. Philadelphia, definitely not. Wisconsin, definitely not. And right now, apparently, Iowa is now in play. I was watching mediocre football, but the networks, the cable networks, have gone to basically full news coverage for the election, even though we're 2 days out, with special coverage with Wolf Blitzer on earlier, and then all the Sunday shows at MSNBC have been themed around election. They have right now a special edition of Rachel Maddow and a special edition of Aaron Burnett up front, coming on at 6:45 here Central Time in Arkansas. As I do this on the second, I have an actual graphic of that to show you, so bear with me as I hit the right button, make sure things goes on here. But right now, a few minutes ago, before I started this recording, this is a split screen of what's going on. On the left is MSNBC. Rachel Maddow is at the desk, and Steve Kornacki is right now doing, they don't call it a magic wall, whatever he calls his wall to do all the numbers and whatnot. And on the right, Kamala Harris is wrapping up a speech. I think that's her live someplace tonight. She's live somewhere a while ago. I think that's her wrapping up the speech with Aaron Burnett sitting there beside her, doing the commentary. Fox is probably doing the same thing. Had a chance to turn to them. It just so happened that I had MSNBC on as a second channel while watching the football game. Came back from a stop at the store and heard Steve Kornacki and then heard Rachel Maddow and think, what's going on? Everyone's going to mad coverage because it's that time of the year, every 4 years specifically, where the elections come down, and this is a big time right now. So why am I actually here today? You would have thought I've had enough going on with my being beaten up by the wicked commenters on the weekly wrap-up and all week long, for actually all day Friday, because it's only been 2 days. But we actually have more to cover, more things to deal with, and more stuff going on, talking about the election. Now, I wanted to open up with this, not with the talk about the networks going to full on-the-wall coverage, even though we're 2 days away from counting ballots. I wanted to open up about a message that I had in church today. And today, we did the standard praying for our nation here at our church, and we'll do more praying next week because we'll have to pray for the outcome. But it was a small little prayer and a small little sermon that talked about just truth and blanketing truth over a nation. Now, my church is kind of hippie-ish, if you will, but the biggest thing they say, and they say it out loud often, is we don't endorse anyone. The church that endorses anyone. There are a fair amount of members who have some influence, and we try to do our best for them. And there are people in the community who has helped us out. So there are things we say, we like them a lot, but anybody can come and show up and say, hey, I'm running for this, and we'll pray for them. Everybody going forward. It's also an interesting thing where we have some very prominent Republicans and Democrats in the state level here in Arkansas that go to church and hang out with each other and sit in Bible study and do things together. It's one of those things where you realize the person, just because they're wearing a elephant mask or a donkey mask, when you take the mask off, they actually are human. They actually have feelings, and they probably do like chocolate covered things, because everyone likes chocolate covered things. There are things that we have in common. Unfortunately, there's also things we have in common is the way we get suckered into these election things. And suckered is taking it lightly, because there are various people on both sides that get suckered into extreme view of the other side. And there are people in the middle who kind of shake their heads and wonder why people get in this thing. That's a very complicated situation, something I actually have studied on behavior and how things go when I've been trying to work on things on how to do trials, how to do different surveys, how to get people's ideas and whatever. And if things skew back and forth, what it actually means for a group, for a nation, if you will, right now. Apparently right now, it means a lot that Kamala Harris actually has Iowa in play. Iowa may be a toss-up state. Iowa may be not something she will win, but something she won't lose by a lot of points, which means Donald Trump will have a bigger chance, a lesser chance of winning other things. It gets complicated. It gets crazy. It gets pretty heated. But right now, we're going to start our transition, our shift. This week, since the election will wrap up on Tuesday, and the actual counting will go a few days at least, we're going to know within a week, we hope, unless there's some real serious contention that actually means something, who will be our next president of the United States. And everybody down ballot from there. What are we going to do about it? That's a question I've been asking for about 2 years when I launched the Now What Network. It's a website at nowwhat.network, which I should have that for my actual crawl at the bottom. It's a website that offers up blog posts and ideas and tips on how to stay engaged with your electorate, with the people you elected and with the people in politics, and how to keep them accountable what's going on. Now that this person is in office, whether you voted for them or not, whether they're the guy you wanted or not, whether they said their new thing's going to be great for you or not great for you, you get to keep them accountable. If they're your guy, then you definitely have a checklist of things that they said they're going to do that you want to make sure they're doing. If they're not your guy, you want to keep an eye on the things that they said they would do. And if they turn out to be bad for more people than they're supposed to be good for, make sure they're actually pivoting and shifting their ideas on how they're going to do things. And I've got a way to help. And you can help me out as well. And so a bit of promotion, a little bit of promotion, a little flair. I've got a book I published just this week or Friday-ish, something like that, last Tuesday, I believe. So it's been out for a week. I got a copy of it on Friday. You can enter order right now and get a paperback copy at Amazon. And, of course, a Kindle copy to take along with it as well. It's called the Now What Network Manifesto. As I said, the Now What Network is a website that already exists. It is there for you to see information on how to keep yourself engaged and keep the people who have been voted in accountable. The Now What Network Manifesto is it's a simple plot device. It's actually a marketing tool to help me promote that one. But it also does a great thing for you in the here and the now. The Now What Network Manifesto is a book that offers up 10 tips to directly keep you engaged in what's happening in our nation with our elected officials, specifically for national office, because it's read towards a national office, so I have a national view on this one, but it actually is all the things you do for all your local elections as well. So it will keep you engaged, keep you upgoing, keep you what's need to be going on in your life, political life at least, and help you get things going on. For some reason, this phone is in sync with my account. So, the Now What Network Manifesto. I'm reading off my phone here because I don't have to hold the book for the pages. It covers 10 tactics, and there's 2 chapters, one at the beginning, one at the end, that will basically give you the summary of what's going on for people who don't quite read as much as they should, i.e. pretty much all of us who don't quite read as much as we should. But the Now What Network offers 10 tips. I'm going to read you the tips right now, so if you don't want to read it, you get some ideas, and maybe you'll go straight to our website and do that. Or you can check out for the books at jclevelandpayne.net/books. It's at the top of the heap. Go to Amazon, look for it, or go check out the books there as well. But the Now What Network has 10 different tips, starting with tactics. I call them tactics here for the book. Tactic number 1, stay informed. Number 2, engage in public discourse. Number 3, hold officials accountable. Number 4, support advocacy groups. Number 5, vote in every election. Number 6, organize and mobilize. Number 7, direct contact. Number 8, monitor voting records. Number 9, support transparency, and number 10, demand ethical conduct. Now, when I was writing the book, I already have the network idea obviously going on because the website was already around, but I needed to basically rein in some of the ideas. And 10 was a nice short number. I had about 18 different sort of things. Some of them sort of merged together into groupings. Some got dropped off just for sake of clarity. But to make this a quick, simple, easy read, you can knock it out in about an hour or so, honestly, if you really go through that. It's not very long. You can go through and get the ideas and tips and tricks you can use to keep people accountable in elective office. It is called the Now What Network Manifesto with the subtitle, Using Citizen Power to Make Your Vote and Voice Actually Count in National Politics. You can find it on Amazon, so search for me or search for it on Amazon in Kindle form or in a paperback form, $10 for paperback and $5 for the actual Kindle book. Or you can check out this book or any book I've written so far, or published so far, I should say. I got a couple in there that are sitting in the kitty that I probably shouldn't hit publish on at jclevelandpayne.net/books. jclevelandpayne.net/books. Now, this is not going to be the end of my political chit-chat. In fact, I'll probably do more direct commentary on politics going forward. For a while, I was publishing the newsletter, publishing a weekly column for people to pick up. It has not been picked up, so we had a hiatus on that one. So we may see about doing some direct work and make sure that one is actually getting more coverage. But I'm trying to do more things that are political, trying to do more things that are in line with the politics. Not quite jumping off the bandwagon yet. I had another website that was meant for that. That won't be there. We're going to stick with Conversation Project things here and newsy stuff. We want to stick with things that are newsy and commentary here on this platform, here on this actual channel. That's sort of where we're going. So look for more politics, whether you like my politics or don't like my politics. Ironically enough, the way this channel actually grew was a lot of things I said that were bashing Donald Trump and his candidacy and him as a person, and the sort of MAGA Trump 2024 crowd that just sort of came into it and brought more attention. Somehow I got more subscribers in the process, and now I am growing and we're thriving. We thank you so much for that. But check out this book. I get a commission for the book at Amazon, but it is the Now What Network Manifesto. This book right here. Very simple. I'm not all that creative for the book designs, so I just basically go with the book designs. It's a very simple picture of me, the outline, the background of the book. You see it right there. 10 tactics you can use to stay engaged with politics and politicians when the voting is done, when all the said and done and somebody's sitting there working for the next 2, 4, 6 years based on what they're running for on national office. And I guess you can kind of train it towards folks that have those 10-year things that are stuck there. But it really is about what to do about people who get elected and how to make sure that you can poke them when you need to get what you need out of them. Other than that, it's just a rainy day in Arkansas. A rainy Sunday in Arkansas. Mediocre football going on. Everything is ramping up with the election coverage, so everybody's getting really, really amped up and geeked out about it. So it's going to be weird for a couple days. If you're a praying person, pray for our nation. Pray for your candidate and the other candidate so that whoever wins, the other one knows how to slide away gracefully and not make things harder on any of us. This is for either side, whether it's won by Kamala Harris or by Donald Trump, whatever. We pray that we will have a prosperous nation regardless. We pray that the world will not go any worse than it is right now, and that we, being the big brothers of the world, whether we like it or not, can help guide other folks to better resolutions going forward. And if we must fight, that the fight is swift, the battle is won justly and quick, and we have very, very small loss on our ends, or just in general, because we want to get the conflict over, not just have wars. That's all I got tonight. I'm selling the book. It's about selling this book right here. This book right here, or any of my books I have there. They cover a gamut of stuff. Unfortunately, I am sort of a polymath in the way of just ideas. So an idea pops in my head because More Better Media is about just different sort of stuff. We do a book about it. So we have a lot of books out there about business because that's where my main focus is. But we have other books come as well. The long-awaited book on conversations. I have 2 books, 50 Ways to Start and another book, 50 Ways to End the Conversation. At some point in time, I'll get back to editing those and get those out there as well. They're very long, meant to be the seller of the Conversation Project, just kind of go with conversations. This book is selling Conversation Project, I guess, but more selling the Now What Network, an offshoot of that where we can talk about how to keep our politicians engaged with us, not just engaged with the lobbyists and themselves and the power games they play. Check it out. More details at jclevelandpayne.net/books for the book. Also, more details from the Now What Network at nowwhat.network. It's that simple. More things from me at theconversationproject.net or at jclevelandpayne.net, either one of the websites. More conversation stuff at, of course, the Conversations website. Email me, as you will, at theconversationinbox@gmail.com for more details about what's going on. And follow us on our feeds on Facebook, on X, on Threads. Follow us there so you can engage in the stories that we have out there to help us pick the right stories to talk about in our iterations. Tomorrow morning is Monday. We're back to the normal iterations, the normal calendar for things you might not have heard and things you might ought to know. 10 stories for Monday because we have the longer weekend to pick more stories from. And you help us pick the stories by engaging in those stories on our feeds. Follow the feed, see a headline and a link that you see that you like, dislike, want to put emoji faces on it. Put the proper emoji face on it. Tell us what you think about it. Put something in the comments. And the higher engagement a score gets, the better chance of it being picked as one of the 10 stories we'll do in the headline story tomorrow. 8 for the rest of the week because it's shorter periods of time to pull from. What do you think about this video? What do you think about Kamala Harris? What do you think about Donald Trump? What do you think about elections? Most importantly, what do you think about this idea? Being able to keep watch over people who are keeping watch over us. People we choose to watch over us. And then us actually holding their feet to the fire. We can do that. It is very doable. And just regular people can do that. My longtime saying is your vote doesn't count unless you vote along the lines with a whole lot of people who care about what you care for. So if you care about what you care for, get a lot more people involved in the background of keeping people accountable. Make sure you have groups that show up at meetings. Make sure you have groups that call these politicians or email these politicians. Make sure you are in public discourse and you are voting in every little single bitty election that may have something to do with what's going on in your world, whether your world is a block in a small corner or the actual global world it is itself. Because believe it or not, things that happen here, the way that we move things around here affect a lot of people other places that you would not even expect in ways that are hard to imagine. It is what it is. Other than that, as I say often, love you guys so much. We could not do the Conversation Project without you. Couldn't do any of these things without you. So stop by our website. No sales stuff except for the book today. Check out the book, the Now What Network Manifesto. Help me out with that one. I do get a commission for that one, about $3 or $4 per book. So that all helps as well. But let me know how we're doing with books, how we're doing with Conversation Project. No stories, how we're doing in general. Do you like the things you might ought to know as well? Should that go away? Is that just more time being burnt and should we spend more time doing more newsy stuff, political stuff, and stuff for the mind? You let us know in comments. Let us know by email, theconversationinbox@gmail.com. Let me know when you can. Thank you so much. Election day is 2 days from the ending of this recording. We shall see what we have when we can see it.